Hi.
Excellent. All right, we're back here at the PodLayer team for another weekly session of our proof of concept experiments. We're going to have the normal three-act structure. Act 1 is fundamentals, focusing on collaging and pointing out some of the basic cues seen in mojo reading associated with the various gender mojos that we study. And we are right now working on the TV show timeline, and we're in the 60s, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 60s. We'll be starting, I believe, with the Mod Squad tonight, moving on from there. Then in Act 2 is the intermediate portion where we do the weekly mojo reading quiz, and this week it came off of Ben samples. And then Act 3 will be live reads, and again, that will be supplied by Ben. Okay, let's get into that, but first, introductions. I am Nai Shi Coach.
I am Jaini Jailin.
And I'm Zaini Demas.
I'm Naiji Ben.
And I'm Nijai Infiniti.
Nijai Starglobe.
All right, so you can start us off with the collaging, please.
Great. So, as mentioned, we are still touring the 60s, and we're going to start. We left off with the Mod Squad, so that's our starting point today. So, as always, we'll the first go round whenever we encounter a new mojo.
Yeah, first time through everyone's first turn, you call it a cue. And then after that, only if a new mojo shows up.
Yeah. Cool.
I'll start off.
Yep.
The Mod Squad. 3 young outsiders fight crime as undercover agents for the police. Young people in trouble with the law. Wealthy Pete stole a car. Link arrested during Watts riots. Julie ran away from her San Francisco prostitute mother. Can avoid jail by infiltrating the counterculture and exposing bad guys who prey on other kids.
Nizy, Michael Cole as Pete Cochran. Nizy, they will have Night Cunning Hunter Eyes. There's one of their cues.
This is Nizy Clarence Williams III.
Cue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Since you already did Nizy, I had it in my head.
No, first.
All right.
Everett's first turn has to go.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So Nizy have Jai, so that means that they're going to have unaware expression, and you can see that notably in the energy emanating from the lower lip. Hey Glenn.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Glenn.
Work, collaging.
Cool. So, Ben.
This is Nizai Peggy Lipton, and Nizai will have because they're Zai users, they have sheer unflappable cheeks, and because they're logic-based Zai users, then probability, the moding won't go into them.
Okay. Infinity.
Okay, this is Nizy. How do you pronounce his first name? Tig?
Oh, yeah, I think Dig maybe, or Tig.
All right.
Teague.
T.
Okay, neither of those.
T. Games Andrews is Captain Adam Greer. Okay, so they're going to. So basically, because they are Z mojos, their articulation is going to be a deadpan. It's going to be a deadpan Z articulation, and I guess the corollary of this is that their Jai is only going to go as high as the rim line.
Midline.
Midline. Yeah, that's right. Midline. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Narglow, this one is yours.
Is it?
Or Glenn, can you see the screen, the Word file?
Yeah,
Okay.
Hawaii 5-0, right?
Yep. Take it away.
Okay. The investigations of Hawaii 5-0, an elite branch of the Hawaii State Police answerable only to the governor and headed to stalwart Steve McGarrett. Hawaii 5-0 is the name of the special police unit consisting of no more than 4 men at a time, although it can freely call upon the Honolulu Police Department for more men if needed. Answerable only to the governor, 5-0 investigates the most important and sensational crimes, ranging from murder, and it cut off there. So.
Can you see the rest?
Oh yeah, answering only to the crimes ranging from murder and kidnapping to terrorism and international espionage. 5-0's leader is ex-Navy intelligence investigator Steve McGarrett, a tough Irish cop possessed with a determined nature, a hatred of crime, and an elaborate bouffant hairdo. Bouffant hairdo. Other 5-0 personnel, including Dan Williams, second in command, and Dano, to. Oh, could I get people to mute their mics because I can't read it.
Yeah.
When other.
Yeah, if you're not speaking, if you could mute the mic, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, so other 5-0 personnel, including Dan Williams, second in command, and Dano to McGarrett, pipe-smoking Chinese Chin Ho Kelly, native Hawaiian Kono, Samoan detective Ben Kakua, and Hawaiian Duke Lukela, who worked his way up from patrolman. McGarrett's archenemy was Red Chinese agent Wo Fat, whose plans were always thwarted by McGarrett, and who always managed to escape the reach of the law, at least until the final episode.
Awesome. Darglow, you have this one.
Jeannie Jack Lord as Detective Steve McGarrett. And I'm curious how this matches up to the new 5-0 as far as the characters. Jeannie have she expressive emoting. It goes all the way, value space all the way up their faces, through their eyes, and their objective mojos.
Nice.
All right. Next we have G9 James McMartha as Dano Williams.
Cam Fong is pending.
Nijai Zulu. Let's see, have they had Nijai yet?
No, we have not.
So.
So yeah, Nijai have me as their first power. So you're going to see dancing eyes on them. It's going to be a bit more of a diffuse look, rather than like a laser eye look or something. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. Now, Ben.
Oh, I think it's actually Mitchell.
Yeah, do you want me to go?
Since he showed up.
So, all yours, Mitchell.
Okay then, Monty Python's Flying Circus, the original surreal sketch comedy showcase for the Monty Python troupe. The irreverent Monty Python comedy troupe present a series of skits which are often surreal, bawdy, uncompromising, tasteless, but inevitably hilarious.
I did actually watch some of this show. It's really awesome, some of the skits. I remember there's this one skit, it was like they were dressing up as like a bunch of philosophers, and they were like playing soccer, like the Philosophers World Cup. It was hilarious. Like some of them like literally decided to just not play the game at all, whereas others were like playing the wrong game, doing like, and then I don't know. I'll show you guys sometime.
It's awesome.
Who's up in here?
I think
It's me. Sorry. I got off topic there.
It's awesome.
Nizy Graham Chapman as Various.
Sweet.
Nizy Eric Idle as various characters.
Fun.
Naiji Terry Jones as various characters.
I think you get
Have
to
we
sit
done a?
Yeah, I don't think we've had a Naiji yet.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Naiji have Nai as source power, so Nai is a subjective perception and interpretive power. It's dreamy. You can see his eyes in the left picture there. He's got like a dreamy look to it, and The G is also emoting going up there as well, but it doesn't go past the eyes. It stops right at the brim line. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Starglow.
Nizy Michael Palin.
Nizai Terry Gilliam as various. They are going to have
I think we've already had
a Nizai. Okay,
yeah,
great.
we had a Nizai lady. But...
Cool.
Nizy John Cleese.
Nizai Carol Cleveland.
All right then. Think it again. Okay, the Brady Bunch. The misadventures of a large family united when two widowed people married. The marriage of architect Mike Brady and homemaker Carol Martin E. Taylor will be the second for both. They have the issue of blending their two already large families. It's Mike, who has 3 children, and Carol, who has 3 children. One additional issue is that the Brady household was testosterone-laden, with Mike's children being 3 boys, Greg, Peter, and Bobby. And the Martin household was estrogen-laden, with Carol's children being 3 girls, Marcia, Jan, and Cindy. The 6 children not only have their usual issues in growing from children to teenagers, and in this situation in getting used to a new parent and new siblings, but also interacting with new siblings whose mentality generally reflects their specific gender, which more often than not is totally foreign to them. Mike and Carol also have the new roles of parent to daughters and sons, respectively. Add to the mix the girl's cat Fluffy, the boy's dog Tiger, and Mike's longtime housekeeper Alice, and the collective new Brady.
Awesome. Fun.
Oh, cool. We haven't done a Shiny yet, have we?
Have not.
Cool.
Tell us about
This is Shiny Robert Reed, and they have Zhai as their source power, which gives off a very calming signal of authenticity and poignancy, I think is the way you pronounce it. So.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you.
And I'll just note there a warm calming as
Oh,
compared.
warm calming, yeah. Yep. That's an important note. Yep.
Naiji Florence Henderson as Carol Brady.
Oh, it's a near inspirational. I didn't realize.
Yeah, that is interesting, actually.
What? This one's yours.
Right. Nizy and B. Davis as Alice Nelson.
Alice. Oh, and of course, Marcia is the Nizai.
Totally makes
Nizai
sense.
Maureen McCormick as Marcia Brady.
Marcia.
Marcia, she's so perfect.
Totally makes sense.
Well, Jan is also Nizai. Nizai E. Plum as Jan Brady.
Shiny Susan Olsen as Cindy Brady.
Shiny Barry Williams as Greg Brady.
They got it right.
Yeah.
Nijai Christopher Knight as Peter Brady.
Close.
Oh, my turn, right. Nijai Mike Lookinland as Bobby Brady.
Okay, so how cool would it have been if the Brady parents had been Naiji and Nijai?
I know. There's rules like that.
They
You're like,
almost got it
Okay,
right.
almost.
The next level, I tell you. Who's up?
I'm up.
It's me.
Marcus Welby, MD. The show is about doctors Marcus Welby, a general practitioner, and Stephen Kiley, Welby's young assistant. The two try to treat people as individuals in an age of specialized medicine and uncaring doctors. We need to scroll. Oh, that's it.
Sweet. Glenn.
Nizy Robert Young as Dr. Marcus Welby.
Am I mistaken, or is this also Father Knows Best?
I'm not sure.
My favorite.
Not quite sure.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Nizy James Brolin is Dr. Stephen Kiley.
Early James Brolin.
James Brolin used to look a lot like Christian Bale.
Yeah, you're right. Also, I see a little Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, Josh Hartnett. Mixture.
Nizai Alina Verduga as Consuelo Lopez. Soft read.
Okay, and this is the end of the 60s.
Oh, bring on the
All right.
70s.
Into 70s territory. That's very exciting.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm feeling psychedelic and trippy already.
And we're going to start it now, right? We're not waiting a week.
We are.
All right.
Yay, I'm excited to move into the 70s. Woo!
You can see it gets a little more funky, a little more, playing with social mores.
Yeah.
Yep. Big time. Now let's start.
Back in it, 90s is like jaded.
So who was it now? Was it a Demas or what did I just go?
Uh,
I was coach that just won. It's your turn, Shannon.
okay.
Coach just went? Is that what you said? Okay. That would be me then. Okay. The Partridge Family. The humorous adventures of a family of pop musicians. Suburban widow Shirley and her kids tour the country in a wildly painted bus, performing music as a family. Their agent Ruben hates kids, so Danny gives him a bad time.
Loved this.
Nige Shirley Jones as Shirley Renfrew. Partridge.
Nijai David Cassidy as Keith Douglas Partridge.
Johnny Susan
Day.
Day as Lori Partridge.
Nijai Danny Bonaducci is Danny Partridge.
He,
He gets a little cray-cray later on.
Forgot that.
Suzanne Croft as Pending.
Dave Madden as Reuben Kincaid, Nizai.
Nijai Brian Forster as Chris Partridge.
Nijai. Couple. Two men, a neat freak and a slob, separated from their wives, have to live together despite their differences. Felix and Oscar are an extremely odd couple. Felix is anal retentive, neurotic, precise, and fastidiously clean. Oscar, on the other hand, is the exact opposite, sloppy and casual. They're sharing an apartment together, and their differing lifestyles inevitably lead to some conflict and laughs.
Nise Tony Randall as Felix Unger.
Nizey Jack Kluckman as Oscar Madison.
Nijai Al Molinaro as Murray.
Murray.
The Mary Tyler Moore Show. The lives and trials of a young single woman and her friends, both at work and at home. Mary Richards moves to Minneapolis after a relationship goes bad. She finds work as an associate producer in a small television newsroom where the characters include Lou Grant, her gruff boss, Murray Slaughter, the humorous writer, and Ted Baxter, the anchorman, who spends his time mispronouncing country names. Mary continues to hope for romance, but finds that her friends are more dependable.
Nizai Mary Tyler Moore as Mary Richards.
Nizai.
Nizey Gavin McLeod as Murray Slaughter.
Nizey Edward Asner as Lou Grant.
Inspirational cast, yay!
Nizey Ted Knight as Ted Baxter.
Valerie Harper as.
Mojo.
Oh, wait a minute. Nizai Valerie Harper as Rhonda Morgenstern.
Rhoda.
Yep.
And then they spun off a show, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Nijai Georgia Engel as Georgette Franklin.
Georgette.
Nijai Betty White as Sue Ann Nibbins.
Suanne.
Not even so cute.
Nizai Cloris Leachman as Phyllis Lindstrom.
Hey.
I've never heard of this show.
Yes.
Well, this is a BBC show.
Oh, okay. Upstairs, downstairs. The series follows the lives of both the family and the servants in the London townhouse at 165 Eaton Place. Richard Bellamy, the head of the household, is a member of Parliament and his wife a member of the titled aristocracy. Below stairs, Hudson, the Scottish butler, directs and guides the other servants about their tasks and sometimes their proper place. Real life events from 1903 to 1930 are incorporated into the stories of the Bellamy household.
Interesting.
Nicey Gordon Jackson as Hudson.
Nizy David Langton as Richard Bellamy.
Yes.
Nizai Jean Marsh as Rose.
Inspirational cast, yay.
Nizai Angela Baddeley as Miss Bridges.
Nijai Christopher Beanie as Edward.
Shiny Jenny Thomason as Ruby.
Infinity?
Infinity, I think it's
You're
here.
muted.
Let's do that again. Nicey Simon Williams as James Bellamy. Oh yeah.
Oh, yes! Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes!
Oh yeah.
All in the Family. A working class bigot constantly squabbles with his family over the important issues of the day. Archie Bunker.
This manner is actually kind of like the forerunner of like Family Guy and American Dad, where
Totally.
he's like a bigot, but he actually, the writer is not bigot, but using a bigot to kind of skewer bigotry.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, and he plays that off against the two liberals in his house, his daughter and his son-in-law.
So basically, everyone him.
And then his neighbors. And then,
All right. Archie Bunker was a working-class family man who held bigoted, conservative views of the world. His viewpoints clash with nearly everyone he comes into contact with, especially his liberal son-in-law, Mike Stivic, or as Archie delights in calling him, Meathead.
Nige Carol O'Connor is Archie Bunker.
Nijai Gene Stapleton as Edith.
Nijai Rob Reiner as Michael Meathead Stivic.
Nijai Sally Struthers as Gloria Bunker Stivic.
Mike Evans as Lionel Jefferson is pending.
Lionel's pending.
Mine's better.
Ending.
We got
Whoa.
these.
This is a new Pokemon. Jibai Isabel Stanford, and with Jibai you have Vi concern in the eyes.
And they are so cool, they got their own show.
Yes, the
Yep.
Jeffersons. One of
Yep.
the coolest shows ever.
Coming up real soon. Nicey Sherman Hemsley is George Jefferson.
Got some blank paper.
Space out.
Blank spaces.
All right. The Waltons. The life and trials of a 1930s and 1940s Virginia mountain family through financial depression and World War II. In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia during the Great Depression, the Walton family makes its small income from its sawmill on Walton's Mountain. The story is told through the eyes of John Boy, who wants to be a novelist, goes to college, and eventually fulfills his dream. The saga follows the family through economic depression, World War II, and through growing up, school, courtship, marriage, employment, birth, aging, illness, and death.
Shiny John Walmsley as Jason Walson.
Shiny Mary Beth McDonough as Aaron Walton.
Nijai Eric Scott as Ben Walton.
Cool.
Nizai Judy Norton as Mary Ellen.
Nijai David W. Harper as Jim Bob Walton.
Jim Bob! Oh my goodness!
Shiny Cammy Cotler as Elizabeth Walton.
Shiny Ralph Waite as John Walton Sr. Rose. Oh.
Nijai Joe Conley as Ike Godsey.
Godsey. Michael Learned as Olivia Walton, pending.
Shiny Will Gear as the grandfather.
Ellen Corby is pending.
They got a big cast.
Yeah.
Richard Thomas as John Boy Walton.
The American.
Oh boy!
Yeah, and he's also
Right.
American.
Yeah, he plays a baddie on Americans. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well-
Well, he plays the head of the CIA.
He's ruthless.
CIA, right? Ruthless,
Oh,
yeah.
right, yeah.
John Boy could be ruthless.
Is it up?
Yes.
I'm up now. Nizai Ronnie Claire Edwards as Corabeth Walton.
Columbo. With his rumpled raincoat, ever-present cigar bumbling demeanor, and Sherlock Holmesian powers of deduction, disarmingly polite homicide detective Lieutenant Columbo took on some of the most cunning murderers in Los Angeles, most of whom made one fatal, irrevocable mistake, underestimating his investigative genius.
Naiji Peter Falk as Columbo.
Yes.
That's it.
The one-man band.
Kung Fu. The adventures of a Shaolin monk as he wanders the American West armed only with his skill in Kung Fu. Kwai Chang Caine is a Shaolin monk who is on the run after he killed the Chinese emperor's nephew after that coward killed his teacher in cold blood with a gun. He flees to America both to escape retaliation and to search for his brother in order to settle down in this new land. However, in his travels in the Wild West, he cannot help but continually run into trouble from desperados and other ruffians as they oppress the innocent, while the bounty hunters pursue the price on his head. Against this, he has a skill of Kung Fu martial arts, which proves to be devastatingly effective in this gun-dominated land.
Naiji David Carradine as
Carradine.
as Kwai Chang Caine.
We don't know his real name is Grasshopper.
Grasshopper!
Nijai K. Luke as Master Po.
Oh, cool!
That's
It's
cool.
like Karate Kid too, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi.
Always have,
I love his eyes.
Yes!
guy mentor.
Yes.
He's blind. He looks blind, I think.
Yeah. Radamis Para is pending as
Young Grasshopper.
Nijai Philip on as Master Khan.
Another master on the show.
Sanford and Son. The misadventures of a cantankerous junk dealer and his frustrated son. One of television's all-time classic sitcoms, the Norman Lear-produced Sanford and Son debuted just 3 days after the one-year anniversary of Lear's fabulously successful All in the Family. Fred Sanford is a cantankerous 65-year-old black widowed junk dealer living in Los Angeles' Watts neighborhood. Helping him is his restless son, 34-year-old Lamont. Fred's beloved wife and Lamont's mother, Elizabeth, had died more than 20 years earlier. Fred's schemes and bigotry, especially towards Julio, a Puerto Rican who was Lamont's friend, whites and other minorities, often frustrated Lamont. Fred also showed overt disdain for his sister-in-law, Aunt Esther, and the feeling was mutual. Many times, Lamont threatened to leave for meaningful work, but Fred faked a heart attack each time. Oh, this time it's real. I'm a coming, Elizabeth. I'm
miss you,
Boy, he'd hold his heart and be like, oh, I'm dying.
I'm dying. I'm coming to meet you, Elizabeth.
I want to know how many heart attacks that guy had. What should they count?
Every episode, at least one.
Yeah, right.
All right, Ben.
Oh, yeah. Nizy Red Fox as Fred G. Sanford.
Nige Demond Wilson as Lamont Sanford.
Nizy LaWanda Page as Aunt Esther Anderson.
Their bickering is awesome.
Nijai Don Bexley as Bubba Bexley.
Shiny Whitman Mayo as Grady.
Grady.
Oh, cool.
I never knew his name was Whitman Mayo.
Nige Nathaniel Taylor as Rollo Larson.
Nizai Lynn Hamilton as Donna Harris.
Classy.
Mitchell, this one's yours.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize what the team is. Shiny Hal Williams as Officer Smitty Smith.
Johnny Howard Flatt as Officer Hoppy Hopkins.
Nizy Gregory Sierra as Julio Fuentes.
Nijai Pat Morita as Ah Chu.
Mr. Miyagi.
Achoo.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Nizy Nancy Cullup as Miss Hopkins. And she also played in the Beverly Hillbillies.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
The Bob Newhart Show. The professional and personal misadventures of a psychologist and his family, patients, friends, and colleagues. Bob is a successful Chicago psychologist who shares Secretary Carol with dentist Jerry. Part of the show revolves around his usually comic dealings with his patients. The rest involves his schoolteacher wife Emily and others in their apartment building.
Nizy Bob Newhart as Dr. Robert Bob Hartley.
Nizai Suzanne Lachette as Emily Hartley.
And it's an inspirational. Yay!
Nizy Peter Boners as Dr. Jimmy Robinson.
That name must have been rough.
Oh no.
Yes.
Bill Bailey as Howard Borden.
Who also played in I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh yeah.
Nizy Marshall Wallace as Carol Kester.
Nizy Jack Riley as Elliot Carlin.
MASH!
Biggie.
It's all yours, Soda.
MASH! The staff of an army hospital in the Korean War find that laughter is the best way to deal with their situation. The 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital is stuck in the middle of the Korean War. With little help from the circumstances they find themselves in, they are forced to make their own fun. Fond of practical jokes and revenge, the doctors, nurses, administrators, and soldiers often find ways of making wartime life bearable. Nevertheless, the war goes on.
Shiny Alan Alda as Captain Benjamin Franklin Pierce.
Hawkeye.
Nizai Loretta Swit as Major Margaret Houlihan.
Hot lips.
Nijai Jamie Farr as Corporal Maxwell Q.
Klinger.
Yeah.
Nijai William Christopher as Father Francis Macaulay. Or McCall, maybe. Not sure.
Cahey.
Okay.
Nizy Harry Morgan as Colonel Sherman T. Potter.
Johnny Mike Farrell as Captain B.J. Honeycutt.
A lot of admirals.
Yeah.
Glenn.
Nijai Gary Berghoff as Corporal Walter Eugene O'Reilly.
Radar.
Here's Starglow.
Nai David Ogden Steers as Major Charles Winchester.
Nice. Larry Linville as Major Franklin Marion Burns.
The Price is Right.
Oh wait, what
Whoa.
about Trapper John?
Maybe later. I don't know.
Who?
There's
Trapper.
Trapper.
Oh,
Trapper was Hawkeye's bunkmate for 2 years or 3 years before BJ.
oh, I'm thinking of the show. Never mind. You're right, he was a character.
He has been written down for further investigation.
I was thinking of
Okay.
the show. Trapper.
The Price is Right. Contestants guess the prices of featured products in order to win them. Running for over 30 years, this popular game show had a wide variety of contests and games, all with the same basic challenge. Guess the prices of everyday and some not-so-everyday items. The contestants whose estimates were the closest would win the prizes and move on to more difficult games with even bigger prizes.
Vaiji Bob Barker as himself.
I think that's new though. I don't think we can invite you yet.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
you're right.
Good call.
Yeah.
Tell us about
Okay, so Vaiji have eyes their source power, so you're going to see they have the hunter gaze, but it's a gaze that's going to be more it's going to have concern rather than satisfaction or piercing cunningness. So yeah, that's Vaiji Bob Barker as Bob Barker.
it. Team Sale.
All right then. Shaft. Based on the movies of the same name, John Shaft is a two-fisted black private eye along the lines of Mike Hammer and Philip Marlowe. Each week presents a different case and a different crime to solve.
Naiji Richard Roundtree as John Shaft.
Nizy Eddie.
Uh,
sorry.
No problem. Nizy Eddie Barth as Lieutenant Al Rossi.
You get Kojak.
Right. Kojak. Who loves you, baby? A bald police detective with a fiery, righteous attitude battles crime in his city. A bald New York City detective cop, Lieutenant Theo Kojak, is primarily best known for his no-nonsense capacity of bringing criminals and sending them to justice in a calmly and quietly manner. He also had the knack of licking lollipops and using his popular catchphrase, "Who loves you, baby?"
Loves you, baby.
Well, he has a lollipop in his mouth.
At work in the New York precinct, prior to loading up several cases on the scene of the crime, he frequently supports and often had a close bond with each of his workers. Captain Frank McNeil, who was his primarily boss, was also promoted as chief of detectives. Detective Bobby Crocker, with whom he always admired all the time, as Kojak's loyal partner, and Detective Stavros.
Instead of primarily boss, that should say primary boss.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but this is IMDb. That's straight from IMDb.
So you can't even like correct the spelling.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Nice Telly Savalas as Lieutenant Theo Kojak. Who loves
He's
you?
bald and he has a lollipop.
Right. Nizy Dan Fraser as Captain Frank McNeil.
Nizy Kevin Dobson as Detective Bobby Crocker.
Nizy George Savalas as Detective Stavros.
All right, I think that's
Z-Pack.
Okay,
I think it's a good place to pause for the evening.
we will
Pause there.
be visiting.
And we're on to Act 2, the weekly quiz. So everyone grab the quiz. And so we'll start with Starglow going backwards, but then Ben will go last.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. First required read is Tristan Arcada Gallant. So known by the YouTube name Glass Reflection. He's an anime. What'd you say, Starglow?
Naiji.
Okay. How about you,
Yeah.
Glenn?
I said Naiji too.
I said Naiji.
Okay.
So it would be my turn then? I said Naishi.
I said Naji.
We
I
skipped
said
Ben.
Naiji. And what'd you say, Ben?
I said Nijai, but that's probably wrong. He's probably Naiji.
Oh.
like before this quiz, I just started to realize that yeah, it's probably Naiji.
Drone samples are hard to guess on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know them. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that microcosm bubble tends to creep in when they're your own samples.
Mhm.
So,
Tay Zunde, Hearthstone streamer and music artist.
Better known as a music artist because he made Chocolate Rain.
Right.
That
Yeah.
like viral video. So
So
What'd you say?
I said Naiji.
I said Nijai.
I said Nijai.
I was just torn between the Nijas. I went with Naiji, but
I said Nijai.
And it was really tough. I said Jaini.
I said Nijai.
he was really hard. He
Yeah.
was really, really hard. I believe what I'm seeing is a chipmunk-cheeked Ziny with really good knee and shin.
Slimy? Oh my gosh!
I was between the two.
Wow!
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's like
I can see that.
man.
He had really good sheen.
Oh,
it was just like that other. It was just like that other
Wow.
tiny red. Yeah.
I was sure I was seeing G, so at least I got that part right.
that is so
I did get an
cool.
IG too.
Crazy.
It makes sense. It makes total sense.
Boy in a band.
It's cool. It's cool. There's some hard ones on here. I didn't want them all being Nijais.
Yeah.
What'd you say for Boy in a Band?
I guess Ziny.
Okay.
I said Naiji.
I said Naiji.
Naishi.
Nice. Oh, sorry. Not my turn yet.
I said Zaini. What'd you say? Glenn. I mean Ben. Sorry.
Oh, did Dimas go?
I did.
Yeah, he said Naiji.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't hear you.
I said Naiji.
Naiji.
Okay. Yeah.
That's Zach.
I can see someone
I really like his energy though. He's got like this Stikao thing going on. I don't know.
Next one.
kind of like long, thin.
Ai Weiwei, Chinese anti-totalitarian artist. What'd you say, Starglow?
Nijai.
I was torn between both Nijes, but I think he's a Nijai.
I went with Naiji.
I'm with Naishi as well.
Naiji.
Oh, Naiji.
Well, Naiji.
Nishai.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
Yes. Talking about him, fourth gear, the actor who plays in that Kubla Khan.
Oh,
What's that
Marco
one?
I totally ripped on
Benedict
him.
Wong. Benedict
Totally
Wong.
ripped on him.
Very
I
interesting.
ripped on him too.
Very interesting.
And y'all, he has the jowl thing that Jai users have.
Yeah.
He's like really like I was watching this documentary of him and he's like really like he's like battling against the state like with his art like that's like his whole thing.
That's awesome.
And,
Yeah,
like,
But I guess
he
that's
wasn't
just
he
the
wasn't
gen-
ever raised in art like he literally like on his own just like started doing that so I don't know I was really inspired by that but that's cool he's an Nijai but
Yeah.
Yes.
it's like it's a
Of the
surprise.
acquired samples is Edward Snowden. What'd you say for the Edward?
I said Ziny.
Okay.
I said Naiji.
I said Naiji.
Naishi.
Naiji.
I said Naiji. What'd you
I
say?
said
Ben?
Naiji.
Home Slice has a lot of Zai, but he's Naiji.
I kind of got like a Peter Joseph sleepiness energy album.
Yeah. What's his eye?
Now on to the optionals. There's Blake Burns, indie game developer for Town of Salem. What'd you say, Starglow?
Nijai.
Yeah, same.
Passed on everyone, so you could just skip me.
Me too. And I'm upset about that because there's some of these I'm interested in.
I passed on the town state.
I said Nijai for him. What'd you say?
I passed on the town still.
Is this the one with the goatee?
No.
This is the shorter guy.
The shorter guy? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nishai.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay.
I probably would have guessed that if I quite something.
Next one is Josh Ridden, also indie game developer for Town of Salem. What did you say?
I said Naiji. I think
Same.
it's Nijez.
And
This is the other Town of Salem,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I did do that.
I passed on him. So, and Ben also didn't do Town of Salem.
Okay. This guy was hard. I thought that the Zaini and this guy were the two hardest. But I believe he's a Naiji, just a bit heavy. You know what I mean?
To me, he actually riffs on Ben.
Interesting.
He does, a little bit, yeah.
The one, no, help me, is puffiness. Kind of remind me with what I kind of was with was I got Will Wheaton. Have you ever seen Will Wheaton when he gets puffier?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know, kind of,
He reminded me of Ben, though. He's so riffed on Ben.
I didn't see that
Riff on Ben, but
because Ben has some rounder features, but it's not from actually like the overweightness like this guy. And also, Ben's more got intense energy. This guy has beta going on. Not a bad guy, but he had a lot of beta energy going on.
Well, I don't know.
No.
I'm sure there are things. I actually don't like. I think there probably are things that I
It's
There's all kinds of risks, and some are more subtle than others, and some are only seen through certain people's eyes.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
people just-
totally.
Yeah, there's so many things you can rip off of. I definitely wouldn't like discount what you're seeing. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I saw a similar thing too.
next one is Total Biscuit, comedic game critic. What did you say for him, Starglow?
Naiji.
Yeah, I think Naiji, but he could. I'm not sure.
Okay. And you didn't guess the. What did you say?
No, I said Naiji.
Yeah. I was pointing at it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. I said Naiji. Ben, did you
I
guess
said
one?
Naiji.
Is this the short one with the beard?
Total Biscuit.
This is just a last
Yeah, let me show you a picture so you.
The receding hairline.
Total.
Sounds like the
Biscuit.
one. Yeah, Nijai.
Uh,
Oh.
Yeah. What do you see?
That's the sour thing.
yeah. Okay, that's the sour thing for me off.
So it was really his like poise that
Yeah.
threw me off. Yeah.
Okay. Bram Cohen, creator of BitTorrent. What'd you say, Starglow?
Zaini.
Okay.
I said Naiji, but I'm nervous about this guy.
Yeah. What did you guess
I
on
didn't
him? I said Naiji. Did you guess something?
I didn't guess, but I probably would have said Naiji.
I can see why you'd say that. I think this is an Nizai with good articulation.
Oh, cool.
Mm. And he seemed so Zai heavy.
Yeah, but he's a guy needs eye, so he's gonna be Zai heavy.
Right.
Mm.
Next.
And I mean, he is Zai Mojo. I mean,
Yeah.
so-
Well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
Not
but
like he's Zai heavy, it's not an IG or something like that.
no, like what I meant was genders play up the.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that's very true.
That
Some
and
design
also the
that
fact that he's
have-
like in the software and programming industry, they are a
Yeah.
bit more like introspective, you
They
know.
tend to have stronger Zai and
Yeah.
Pi.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm.
Last but not least, Jacob Applebaum, core member of the Tor project, also known for representing WikiLeaks at the 2010 Hope Conference. Did you guess on him, Starglow?
Yeah, I said Zaini.
Okay.
But I'm not real confident.
I said Naiji.
Did you guess on him? I don't.
I didn't guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
Naiji.
I guess Naiji and Ben. You said
I didn't
you
guess.
Okay.
He had a lot of Zion. He was hard. I believe it's an IG.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was kind of sad.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, not my favorite kind of Naiji, for sure.
Big Jelly referred to our score, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, yeah.
He's been through a bit, and Naiji tend to have a lot of Zai usually.
But yeah, I think Jelly was referencing our score.
Yeah, I know. The score. Don't worry, Jailene. You'll do better next time.
Yeah.
Did anyone get the Zaini?
No.
Let's take a look at him.
No way anyone got it. I wouldn't have.
I'm close. I got Jimmy. I was
Yeah.
between
That's a great guess.
Excellent guess.
round face.
That was
And,
what's going
and
through
he
a lot.
sort of had apple cheeks.
He
I
did.
thought.
Right.
He did, but they don't move.
Yeah, no, I thought it was. I knew it was G and Zai. I saw
And
that,
really
but I'm like,
long G, but it didn't move his face.
Yeah.
He's got that side tunnel with the
I know.
voice going, doesn't he?
Power tunnel is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Crazy power tunnel.
Baritone.
That's unusual. Renee Renoir and the guy played in Lawful
Click in the
Snake.
link.
Theatrical. She's awesome.
Project. I'm right now with Chase on this.
His voice is like amazing though. Like
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. These like really interesting music.
like his talking voice literally like you can hear it like his singing voice comes out in his talking voice. It's really like
It's still calming though.
I'm like this. I'm talking like this.
but that's Tower Tunnel, right? I mean
Yeah.
Lots of G.
that makes sense. He's got like the that's really cool.
Do you guys see the dancing eyes there? That's what popped up first. I knew he was an emojo.
Yeah, the dancing is.
Something was messing with me, like with his mouth. I was like, that looks like it's.
But once I realized it was knee, the knee, that popped out for me and stayed strong. But I had to deal with the roundness of his face. There, the hands really helped. Those hands really
I was
helped.
battling those
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah, same here with Nisha. I couldn't reconcile the hands. I'm like, those definitely don't look like gummy claw, but they look adaptive, so I'm just gonna have to go with Nisha. Yeah.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
And he's got really good G butter too.
But the cheeks don't move. Look at him.
It's true.
Man,
Can't hold it, honey, but-
it's times like this I'm really impressed by Coach's ability to motivate. I'll never guess nice.
I think he's one of the hardest people ever.
Gesturing.
He's one of the trickiest people ever. I'm blown away by this.
It's so cool though.
Sit there. His cheeks are moving. Lots of energy from the mouth, but the cheeks are moving.
You should try
Totally. Spidery gesturing, I'm not seeing that. Like, I think he's got like thicker hands a little bit. I think that's why.
My
And
ears are
shorter fingers, so I'm not used to seeing it in that kind of like, you know.
You can see it when you're playing when he's playing the piano though.
Yeah, to some degree, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Very
didn't
good.
notice that
Fingers.
before.
Thrown down from the sky, and it said, write a song called Chocolate Rain. And I saw the light, and I wrote the song.
It's that ziny quirkiness.
It's really going strong with the G, but it doesn't go with his face, and still the gestures have like a viscosity. What do you
He
think?
has the coolest voice ever.
He pulls them back quick.
There's no singing. He does head back, head tosses. Some other moves too, like sway back.
Someone put it on dig.com. That's not dating me either. But just imagine Reddit only like Dig.
And he does have that quirky, ziny sense of
He
humor,
does.
Yeah, exactly. Like Jeff Goldblum.
which is so cute. I mean,
Yes.
it's like,
He's trying to riff off him. I see the Jeff Goldblum thing.
yeah, it's. I totally see the Jeff Goldblum riff.
I think the thing in those hands, that's Spider right there. Spider.
Jeff Goldblum. There you go.
It's so awesome.
Another person?
We want to see. Let's see. Do we want to see Ai Weiwei?
Okay.
The
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
wouldn't mind seeing it. I think it would be nice.
who got Nijai for him?
Well, I did.
Me.
Hello, and you said Glenn. You did
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I got
Cool.
distinction.
Yeah, you guys take me on this one.
Could you just send a link?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everything. Let's see. Let's grab the link.
I think he shows up a few minutes into this interview.
Okay.
Maybe like 4 minutes in or something.
Yeah, we're
Around there, yep.
about 5 minutes.
I think that's an honest
Yeah, the main thing when it comes to him was that he reminded me of Benedict Wong from Marco Polo.
Yeah, you bet on that
I
quiz.
got a huge riff on him.
all the
That really helped me like narrow down on Nijai as the first guess on him.
to communicate.
How about you, Starglow? what jumped out?
He actually riffed a bit of that architect from the Nijai architect. What
the
was her
female?
name?
Oh.
You mention it? I wish
Last
I would have thought of that.
name starts with Z.
I wish I'd do that more cross-gender riffing. That's useful.
That's cool. I can sort of see that. He's got a lot of like
Very
serious.
interesting.
Yeah, very serious.
That's a very interesting riff.
I think you should.
Oh.
And now that I've seen it once or twice, it's and I recognize it because it's a similar riff to me. So.
Yeah.
Right.
His knee is like,
right. It's.
He's rained his knee in a lot. It looks like. So he's still got the bobble going on, but it's a lot more matured in a way, and he holds himself a lot more still. And that kind of threw me off in the beginning. I was like, could that be a Naiji? But I didn't really feel like I was getting dissatisfaction, despite the crinkles in his eyes and stuff, making it seem as though he was like angry in the eyes or something. I kind of had to look past that.
No, and if you listen to him talk, he was always talking in the positive, like. And no matter the amount of oppression that he's been through, he was always talking in the positive, which is, Naiji tend to get a little bit angrier about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, if I think about like all the shit that he's gone through, like the fact that like he's able to like be this like have this kind of attitude is definitely a sign.
Yeah, very much so.
He's a little bit angry too, though. I mean, I've seen some pictures of him.
I was about to say, he's got a lot of intensity to him. He's got a lot of intensity.
Yeah, I mean, Nijai can get angry about it, but
it's a cold. When he does get angry, it's a very cold, emotionless anger, which is a very Z thing.
Well, I think also Nijai is angry.
I don't know if it's just Z.
One thing Nijai is good at is kind of processing stuff to a better state because it doesn't do it any good. It's self-taxing. It's self-toxifying to stay in that state. So Jai gets very angry, but if it's elevated, then it'll continue to process that to the healthiest state you can be. And so that's one thing that's really good at. And with Jai, it's kind of like possibility and what's the healthiest way to come at this.
Totally agree. Whale in my life, yeah.
And like the Naiji anger actually a lot of times is very good. It gives wisdom and it gives courage to certain things and clarity, but it can come to the point where it gets too far, it gets saturated, it becomes toxic. And the Nijai are really good at actually helping to process that through the whole storyline. But Jai in general, in all of the inspirational couples, it provides that service. It is the conscious partner.
Yes.
When that anger though expresses out, it's the Z expressing it out, so it comes out appearing very cold and calculated.
It can, but I think we need to distinguish between anger and action. Because when Nijai get angry, natively, that's actually a Zhez channel thing. So you can have great anger without it being action-oriented. But when Nijai or Jai, your Nijai mojo goes taking action, then yes, it will be the cold, Z way of enacting something. But no, the anger felt will be personal. They are Jai.
Yeah, but I'm talking about what I can, what outside person, like it's not what I'm talking about. My inside is not cold,
right,
but what it appears to other people is extremely cold.
Right, so that's why, but that's action.
Yeah.
That's anger into action, but as far as anger itself, it would actually start probably, the Jai.
Right.
I agree with that.
But if you're watching somebody's anger, you can't tell what, you can't.
If you're not Podlair, but we are Podlair, so
well, yeah.
I've never met a Nijai that does Z before Jai. They can hide their Jai or not even know their Jai is repelling their Z, but it always is.
No, and I'm not saying that cold is what I feel on the inside, because like when I get really righteously angry, it's just intensely, it's like boiling over. But what other people see on the outside looks like cold as ice.
Right, but again, I'd say that's actually kind of like going back to like typology stuff, where it's like extrovert versus introvert, because that's action oriented. Because even right now, when I see a Nijai or a Jai Ni using very like cold, implacable Z, if their Jai is still there, which it usually is, you can see it if you know what a mojo read. You can still hear it. Even though the sheiks don't move much because they're articulating, you can hear it in the voice. It's like a timbre it gives to the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
For people that are familiar with Podlair, obviously. Yeah, but
Well,
Yeah,
I could see that even before I was familiar with Podlair with like people in my life. I could see always the like I didn't know like it was Jai or Z going on, but I could see that there was an emotional kind of core that was propelling whatever it is that the Z was manifesting.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
lots
right.
of like something a Nishai or Jai will do is they'll suddenly like pop and go ZZZ, ZZZ. And I mean, I think a person who could read people, I think, hopefully fairly well, would still be able to note that there was like an impassionment that kind of like flared up, and then they
That's
went.
right.
Oh,
Because the context of it.
When I lose my temper, you could see that Jai.
Yeah.
You can still see the Jai in the midst of the Z, in the midst of the temper tantrum.
And it's usually always reactionary to something.
Correct. Correct.
yes.
Or
Yeah.
reactionary, or in the case when the Z is like going strong, it's almost like cargo. Like the Z's move forward, but always like there's this Jai cargo that comes
Exactly.
along the voice.
Yeah, it's like this. It doesn't stop. There's no there's this point of no return where it's just like
Right.
the train's gone. Just
Exactly.
train's gone. Like
Really red.
train's gone.
I was wondering if
Nishai
it
have
was
a
like
pa-
something like the
That's
heat,
funny
like
because
Jai.
he's his agent, but no, Nijai do have actually Jai mojos in general, particularly ad rounds. I noticed having a propensity for blushing.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. We blush bad.
Oh God! Don't.
Yeah.
I'm blushing now.
Yeah, they might be unaware of it, but you can see it.
Totally
We're
unaware.
not unaware of
That
what
makes a lot of
happens,
sense,
though.
I
We,
think.
No, I don't
the
think you're
face
unaware
goes
of that. You can
completely
feel
hot.
that on your face. You don't,
The face goes completely hot. But you
Right.
don't know it's coming until suddenly your face is just hot.
That's right.
That
Yeah,
makes
so
a lot of
sorry.
I
sense.
think they can do that to other people too.
In a New York minute.
Oh yeah, we can shot somebody and blush on. I can blush
they-
on IG quick.
Yeah, I know they can.
So are we good with this? Are we good with Ai Weiwei?
Sure, Nijai do that power, as do the pretty much the Jai with the knee in general. But overall, Naiji tend to go the opposite, where they tend to be rather inscrutable. In fact, I don't know if Naiji
That's right.
where I'll be getting like upset. I can tell my face is really hot, but no one else. My skin doesn't tend to change.
Right.
I'm angry. Like I'll feel things like really strong. Like I'm always sure my skin must be showing something, but I look down at my hands; they're not shaking. My skin's not showing anything, but I feel it really inside. But Ninjai is really good at noticing that that's happening, even if it's not a lot of visible cues. But Naiji do
Yes.
tend, one of their strengths, don't tend to give up a lot of visible cues. Particularly when they get upset or something, they tend to kind of like just go like blank face.
Jai versus Zai.
But again, Nijai and Shiny to be good actually like notice like there's like bees humming underneath the skin.
100%.
Brush the Naiji quick.
Well, it depends on the Naiji. Some Naiji,
Yeah.
I don't know. They when it comes to powers of disassociation, Naiji might go too far with that. But yeah.
Right.
Well, I was about to say maybe those are not healthy ones. So.
No one doesn't.
Yeah, well, I don't tend to
I've
stay
seen
in the
Naiji
company.
who's not been. You can't get Nai-Z to make them blush. They're like nothing makes them blush. That's like their thing.
Yeah,
But usually-
I don't tend
Right.
to stay in the company of unhealthy Naiji for very long. They're dangerous.
That's true. But some Naiji actually are healthy, and they're just like, I don't like to be made to blush.
Those are the ones coach that I get the worst.
It can make it really hard. That'll be like a thing like, I'm not going to blush.
But those are the ones that I like to get the best.
We should get going, though. We're getting a little off topic here.
Sorry.
Do you think one more or go to live reads?
Make live reads now.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Ben, do you have
The
some live
INTJs.
Yeah. The creator of Minecraft, Marcus Persons.
Ooh.
Interesting.
How do you spell the last name?
I'll go ahead. Oh, it's with
Man, could you search for
well,
Marcus
two
Minecraft?
S's. Well, three S's. Because S at the end.
Double
It's
S.
just Marcus Minecraft. Marcus Person. Person. Person.
Oh yeah.
I'll call
Yeah, so
Marcus
there actually
Minecraft.
My bad.
Marcus Pierce. Okay.
It's a person with an extra S.
That's a very concise way of
Yeah.
of saying that. Like,
Marcus alleges. Let's say.
What is it, my person?
Marcus Notch person?
yeah, that's his. That's like his nickname.
Oh.
So. Are we good?
We're doing Marcus Pearson, who is, yes, who's the creator of Minecraft.
Oh, it's actually on this show. Wow.
He has a very jovial face.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm noticing that right off the bat too.
yeah, and his hand is kind of interesting how he's holding the couch almost like a claw.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
Like a claw.
Yeah, it feels like it. I told me to tell you. I would believe it too. So, have you, you're from
I wonder
Sweden?
who this person is. What this person is.
All right, okay. Are our ways so different from yours? Not really. No, I don't think so. Look, so Minecon is last weekend. That's the big convention you had in Florida. No. Like, people go crazy for this game, Minecraft. Yeah. And I've tried to play it myself, but I don't think I really understand what's going on. I'm not sure I understand either. Okay. It's sort of like Legos in the digital world.
His hands
And there
are
might be
sort of
things
just
to
hanging
get
there. They're
with
not,
Yeah,
exactly.
they seem kind of loose.
not taking possession of that
Can
couch.
does it ever finish? There's
He actually reminds me of that one guy that we read. He was one of my live reads.
it's like, I guess the leg.
Oh man,
And the
I
game.
forget his name. He was, yeah.
Is
Look
that
at the name.
the thing?
Which one, Glenn?
These amazing
Oh, he was the one bald guy. Kind of looked like Jamie, but wasn't an IG.
Oh.
I can't remember
you
it
remember?
specifically,
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I see.
like,
Yeah.
based on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure if I saw him, I'd probably know what you're talking about.
Take them all, man.
Something with bread, I don't remember.
Oh, you took a chocolate euro. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, Christopher Sabat. Christopher Sabat. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
his name.
Let's see.
So,
Sad.
oh,
Sabbath.
You're a kid. You were inventing. Was it
Oh,
the typical kind of playing with the computers? Yeah. Your mom's. You never amount to anything. You're like, yeah, all right, mom, next time. Like that's what the school would say that too. Really? The teachers would like give you a hard time.
Do you guys get that same kind of riff too?
Yeah, I can kind of see.
Well, how do you spell the name?
yeah.
That's like
I don't think
radical.
we're finding him.
What about the gaming world?
Oh, did you want me to say his name again?
SABAT.
Christopher Sabat. S-A-B-A-T.
BAT. Thank you.
Quite a lot of people like, man, he created Minecraft. How dare he?
He was read. He was read as what?
He
Oh,
was read as a Nijai.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that.
I'm a gamer too. Like the game's played, and we can very protected him.
Yeah, I'm getting at him as a riff. He's a little bit more full. A Marcus person. He's a little bit more full. He's a little bit more heavier. But I can definitely see a similarity there.
Okay.
Technical here, right?
Interesting.
You ever done a talk show before? No. Barton, aren't they? Have you?
Oh, and his hands look really in. I don't know. That looks like
Yeah.
it looks like there's no tensioning there, or very little tensioning. Very loose naturally. I don't know.
Oh,
So,
that's slow smile.
so you still live in Sweden? In Malmö?
I'm not sure.
Good guess.
I'm not sure if he's a knee Jai, but he definitely seems like a knee alpha to me. I'm not sure what you guys think about that though.
This guy?
All right. Well, if he is an E-alpha, I would lean that way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he is.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
getting
not
bodies
seeing.
based off of him.
I'm not seeing logic based at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Exactly.
Not
I'm seeing.
But I do appreciate that you opened that up because
Yeah.
that exposure that appears in the bubble. So
Yeah, we're not just like, oh, he's Nijaz. Let's figure out which
Yeah,
one. You know?
yeah, I know.
So,
Well, he just doesn't look like one.
I wanted to make sure that I did that But yeah, it seems to me like a lot of the game people that create games, people like into games, they seem to be Nijesm usually. I don't know.
Yep. From what we've seen so
Thus far, we've seen that. Yeah. Yeah.
we got like
Well,
one Signee and one Z9.
Nijes and Zinez, really.
I think it's probably Nijes.
Nijes and Zinez,
And I guess
that's a better
we
way of saying
haven't
it.
gotten that many so far, so we'll have to.
I don't know, but like I know some Zinez that are a lot of into games and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's sort of like world building, right? I think it has a lot to do with
It makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely don't disagree with that.
Yeah, that smile going into
We'll just have to gather more data, see, and see like what the I guess
It is odd.
what the percentages are.
It is odd.
And I don't know, in pictures, I feel like he reminds me of that one of Mice of Men, of Mice or something, like a music band or something.
His hands definitely don't look like the wizard or like Worm Wizard. You know how it tapers and has the
Do you guys
like the fingers that come out of it. It's more like it kind of curls his hand.
Yeah, very curled, yes.
Yeah, kind of in a
Curled
soft
and claw-like.
way.
Or yeah, not claw-like. Yeah, curly and yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see the two guys that are fighting.
Round-
like the guy's trying to
round
play
lines.
Donkey Kong, but there's no claws on it. Yeah. And his kid is like, Dad, I need help with my homework. He's like, yeah, get away from me, get away from me.
It's interesting. He was listening when he was listening to him. He was emotionless,
Yeah.
but then he went backwards and to the right and to the left. So
I
Lean back into a laugh. It's interesting.
Yeah, this little duck and giggle thing, I recognize that.
I don't know about you, he seems really approachable.
yeah,
This little, he
I
just,
was setting.
Yeah.
Like a teddy bear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a teddy bear. And I think Craig is having a fun time with him.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd really have one. That's it.
He seems like a very jolly person.
Yeah, I think the emoting is going up quite high, actually.
Sexy as anything. Thank you. Yeah. No, I didn't mean you were. Oh, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, How do you run your Minecraft company? Have you sold out to the evil corporations yet?
No, not yet, and we hope not to. So basically, it's a company.
Actually, I think like a little while ago they sold it to Microsoft or something. For like a lot of money.
Oh, really?
Like, this is like the most successful indie game of like all time.
Yes.
Millions and millions of people buying.
Good.
he keeps doing this little duck and giggle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like his energy. I think he's cool.
He ducks and giggles. That seems to me very shy.
Yeah.
Like a little turtle, right?
Fun guy. Seems like a fun guy.
Like whoever country has the ring at whatever time, they're the people who are the winners of Scandinavia.
I don't listen to whatever his mojo is. I like his energy.
What about Norway?
Yeah.
They have aha.
I keep seeing this, duck and giggle, that's indicative of shy. Also the hands are round and clawed. That reminds me of a Nyalfa.
He doesn't dig into the couch to grab. He did it one time when he sat down when he first sat down, but he hasn't dug into the couch again since then.
And he I haven't seen boundary setting from him. He's like, and it's very natural to be open, it seems like.
No, he's just kind of on seems to me in his own little resonating world.
Can we rule out Jaime? I just want to.
I'm not seeing Tower.
Looking at him, I'm not seeing Tower.
I don't know. I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I'm not saying I do, but I feel like I want to.
No, it's not a good question at all.
Yeah,
I think I'm seeing
He's got
with
those
those
cheeks.
receiving like the whole time.
I'm not getting a longness off of him too. Like the
His face looks too chipmunky to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's the word.
Yeah, kind of.
That's the word for
It's
it.
not just that; it's the whole. He doesn't lengthen up his body like towers do. Even if he were heavier and he were a heavier tower, he would still, I think, lengthen up his body, which I don't see him doing.
There would be more of
collapses
collapsibleness, yeah, in his hands and stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
His hands look very like claw. They look very like there's like a certain roundness to them, and
no doubt.
I feel pretty good with Nijai.
Yeah, I'm
Do we want to watch another video, or do we want to go on now?
I think
it might be good to get a second video.
yeah, maybe one more.
Good measure.
A short one.
Okay.
Maybe
Even though I'm
shorter,
sure we're quite
Short one,
confident.
unless we're really surprised.
Yep.
I wouldn't be very surprised if he wasn't a Nijai.
That's why I
Yeah.
think very to the point.
But, you know, it'd be interesting. It would be fun.
This other video?
Of Minecraft and Mojang.
He has that jolliness still
I'm
there.
sorry to say.
Oh my god. Even more so.
he's totally ripping off a friend of mine that's a guy that's been confirmed as Nijai.
Oh, cool.
I will have favorites.
Good.
All the way down to the beard and the haircut.
He was like my all-time favorites, and he went to the left, and that seemed like a little kind of far away concern.
Favorite character? Zombie is a good
Yeah,
one.
that.
That's a really fun guy.
So, and it looks a little unnatural, like far away.
Gordon Freeman. Yeah. Guy with street food. Yeah. I would agree.
And he does the knee and the bobble at the same time.
It's a become a game developer.
Knee bobble. Knee bobble. Knee bobble.
I've never started this programming. And after a lot of it, I'm going to design as well. And how did you break into the video game industry? What was your first job you had?
I'm going to be really surprised if he's not Nijai.
I almost feel like we're ready to call it even.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
think we
think so
seem
too.
very open to anything else at this point, to be honest.
I wanted to see something that would refute it, but we're not seeing that.
Cool. Well, I'll go around then. Get your reads. Starglow.
Nijai.
Okay, Glenn.
Yeah, I'm pretty 100% sure it's a Nijai.
Okay.
Nijai. I'll put Shiny as a backup, but Nijai.
Okay. Ben.
Nijai.
Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nisha and
Nijai.
And I have to too.
take your
Yay!
Awesome.
High five.
High five, everybody. Yeah, so Nijai.
We still have a half hour to do at least one more read.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I've got another read.
Another soul.
Cool. His name is Gabe Newell. He's the CEO of Valve,
How do you
which is
spell
the
that last
Newell.
Newell.
Ben, is Valve like a video gaming company?
Yeah, and they actually made Steam, which is like
Oh, yes, I knew it sounded terribly
Yeah.
familiar, but I couldn't think of
as well as like a bunch of games like Half-Life and Left 4 Dead and.
Does he play a character of Jesus? Because I'm
I don't
looking at,
think so.
look at his images on the.
Who's this?
Gabe Newell.
Gabe
I'm just looking.
Jesus. Oh, there you go.
Here we go. Here he is.
And so we're going to begin. And obviously, our guest speaker does not need any introduction. I want to thank all
Wonder
of
if
you
the
for being
video
here and
turns
being
at some point and
early.
faces more.
Probably will.
Yeah.
This is a very high budget interview.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's staying there. Okay. Let me grab another one.
Oh, this person is inspiring me about someone.
What's Valve? Is Valve something that he's a part of?
He's the CEO of Valve. And Valve
I
is
see.
the company that made Steam. And
Oh, I
also
see, I see.
I was
made
gonna say we just had this conversation.
Yeah, okay. I understand. That's good.
Cool.
Okay, let's see.
And how great it is. That's from Peter, and that's from Simon. Back to fellowship, the one and only Gabe Newell.
some sort of award ceremony.
Fellowship of the Games. Yeah, I'm at 3 minutes.
I'm riffing off of someone, but I'm not sure if he's been read before. Has Neil Donald Walsh, the author that did Conversations with God, has he been read yet?
I'm not seeing the guy. All I'm seeing is the show, the video game.
I made the mistake of going online.
You are?
George Lucas is a Naiji, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
See can you guys see?
He's just now walking up on stage for me. I don't know.
Okay, so there's a bit of a delay. There's a delay. Yeah.
I skipped to 3 minutes, so 3 minutes is when he starts talking.
Oh, I'm like not even close to you guys anymore.
You're not there yet.
So after we'll have right around.
Here's a guy by the name of Neil Donald Walsh has been read.
Neil Donald Walsh hasn't been read yet.
Has not been read. Oh, okay.
It's a great poem. What does
Let me guess, he'll be on your quiz.
That mouth,
But it makes me wonder if I should have added him.
that mouth looks more shy.
Just come up on
It's I'm seeing shy mouth.
and walk off.
He's interesting. He's got an interesting face.
Yeah, I agree.
I also see a bit of a riff with Jerry Garcia.
Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, he does. He does riff on Jerry Garcia. He absolutely does. Yeah.
Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead.
On behalf of everyone involved and all the games.
What's his mojo? Oh, he's a Nijai, right?
Last few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Okay.
I'm joined now by the.
Here we go.
Oh, he's with Jonathan Ross.
Jonathan Ross, that's interesting.
And who's this man standing next to you?
I'm Gabe's new imaginary friend here in the UK. I'm a big fan of Valve, a big fan of Steve, a big fan of every game that Gabe's been involved in. I'm a huge fan. And like everyone else, I'm looking forward to what must be the most hotly anticipated game on the planet.
Half-Life 3, yes.
And
Yeah.
Gabe's now going to tell us exactly.
In a way, he does sort of remind me of George R.R. Martin.
Sure. Sure.
And Jonathan Ross.
You could have just said soon. That would have been fun.
See, the way he's responding to Jonathan Ross seems like I would have a hard time reconciling a directive reacting like that
so
to him.
unbelievably exciting.
He sort of was more looking like
where did
just sort of gathering information more than
This,
adapting.
A bunch of people who are super
the
passionate.
way he just ping-ponged between the two other guys, just like that's resonating. That's adaptive, I think. I don't think directive.
Yeah, he goes to the right. It
looks like
seems
resonating.
to have more
It
resonance.
looks happy, like, you know,
1998.
it's not-
Wow, I wasn't actually thinking directive at all with him. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
no, not.
We hadn't really gone in any particular direction, so I was kind of like,
Oh, I see. So you're just playing. You're just saying.
well, you know, out of everything, I don't really see the directive
For us,
portion.
it's just
Yeah.
Directive
Yeah.
represented.
No.
Something adaptive.
part of the
And I
Yeah.
what we want to do, and we've been able to do that this whole time.
It does feel like really truly great
Go ahead,
games
Glenn.
often have a
You were
democratic.
saying-
I was sort of thinking like maybe George Lucas was a Nijai for a second, but I was thinking no, because that's why I asked. But yeah, I think he's like
Wait,
I think he's adaptive. I think he's most likely a gatherer,
Those are being really
probably a Nijai with him as well.
Yeah, I think I've already decided.
Yeah.
Okay, can we call it then?
I'm not even remotely confident, honestly.
Yeah, so let's keep going.
Yeah, but better energy.
Like I'm having trouble really picking on anything that distinctly.
I get snapshot.
Oh, it's always
Interesting.
Yeah,
And do say wise. Like,
Especially you love getting up.
Well, it's very shy. I think it seems to me very shy. He definitely seems adaptive rather than directive to me.
Is it worth another interview?
He
yeah.
seems to be more a gatherer because he's ping-ponging and collecting all the information everywhere.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
I loved about your work. Why was
Yeah.
Minuscule thing, but I do that a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I'm trying to make sure I'm not being like swayed too much by his, larger biomass and things like that.
Mitchell, you there?
You know,
Yeah, good idea, Ben.
And well, I mean, okay, so this is just one of those things about Nijai.
Real quick, did you hear Charlene?
I don't know that he heard me.
All of these.
Hey Mitchell, can you hear us?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. No, we were just wondering. I was wondering what you were seeing as far as the character, or as far as the guy we're reading. Cause
Oh, did you ask me that? No, because I actually was paying attention. For some reason, that must have completely passed
yeah,
by.
I think the sound of the interview was dropping out.
So what you?
Yeah. We were wondering what you thought, what you were seeing so far, because we hadn't heard from you. So. Just
Oh
curious.
no, I've been maybe my mic's been off, but I've been mostly agreeing with what you guys are saying. Like I can see how seeing like a rounder face, seeing more like kind of twinkly eyes.
Computing is now a thing. Do you think cloud designing will become a thing? You said about 10,000 people designing.
And Infinity, what do you see?
You know, there's this sort of insatiable.
I mean, Stargrove said it very well about how this ping pong adapting thing going on. I mean, he just seems to be responding to all stimuli, and yeah, he has this very approachable face, approachable demeanor, really. And again, riffing with Jerry Garcia, J.R.R. Martin, George R.R. Martin. There are a couple of Nijai that I could mention that he riffs with. The lead singer of Yes, John Anderson. He looks a bit like a couple different people.
Okay. Cool. Glenn, how about you? What are you seeing?
I think I'm seeing mostly Nijai with them. I kind of, for some reason, was thinking like Z9, because I thought maybe the emoting didn't really go up very high with him. But I feel like I don't want to. I feel like I want to retract that. So I think Nijai would be the most notable signal. Maybe Nizai as my second.
Okay. Well, let's see another interview.
Yeah.
And mentioning the overweight thing with Nijai, it is a simple fact that V is our superpolar for Nijai, and exercise is not something we're fond of.
I'm just trying to
connection.
account for my fifth gear and make sure I'm getting the best view of his energy as I can. I'm not trying to ding Nijai or anything. Like,
there are some Nijai that go crazy with that exercise.
Well,
Ben, I think that's a great
fetish.
Yeah, super fetishy. Yeah.
It's a super fetish.
Like Nigel thought.
Sorry. We can't hear you, Coach.
Why not?
Now
Yeah, your
it's
voice
there
was
was a
kind of quiet
motorcycle.
there.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I've noticed as an overall trend is that at a high level, gatherers do seem to have a propensity for that in general. I've noticed it in VJI and VZI, like VZI guys, and athletes. You'll notice that in the off season, the VZI full players and so forth tend to go more towards rotundness when they're not working out more consistently. But when they get in shape, they're like crazy in shape. But gatherers in general seems to be something there. Even the V Alpha have that.
I'm thinking of Jack Black.
Exactly.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Charles Barkley.
See, one of my little theory is that gatherers don't like to put out energy if they don't have to.
Exactly.
It's possibly that, but
physiological, isn't
it could be physiological. It could be that they don't put energy, but I would say probably, this is my guess, is that they are the most appetite-driven of all the mojos.
Yeah, there's that.
I get that.
Hedonists. We are hedonists with food, too.
both sort of physical way and more like an ideological way, but the knee and the V like that do share that.
And I think hunters are the least like that.
What's that?
Hunters are probably the least like that, of course, basically.
Hunters a lot of times seem to sometimes not do much with food, even when they should sometimes.
I'm curious how their metabolic rates would differ between hunters and gatherers.
Naji run hot. I can tell you that Naji run hot.
I know the Nai run hot, and I know that both of the Nai Alpha tend to sometimes not want food because it gets in the way of their mental thinking. It's pretty common in Nai.
True. I relate to that.
But real quick, we should move on here. But on this trend, the one I haven't noticed, and here's Charlene, the Nizai. Guys and girls, I haven't noticed this gatherer trend as much, but the other three I have noticed it. Not Nizai.
I have several what I suspect to be Nizai friends, and they are extremely weight conscious and they're extremely diet conscious.
Yes.
Nizai people that I know that I suspect are Nizai, they're extremely diet conscious. It's like almost a fetish thing on people watching them eat.
Right, it is possible for sure. We'll have to see what their mojo is, but definitely the data we've seen so far, we have noticed that the gatherers do tend to have a propensity for that, but not the Nizai. So something to it. But we should go ahead and get back into it. But this is a good discussion.
There's one Nizai though, Drew Carey. He came to mind. He was a little bit more refined than we got.
There are handfuls, but it does seem.
That's a good point. Good.
The other gatherers. As far as the racial balance comes up.
I feel like maybe not so much of a Vijay too.
Vijay are interesting that way. The Vijay can be really, because of V, they can be really into it, but other ones don't really eat a lot.
Right.
So I know sometimes they go like exercise crazy and make it crazy. Other times they go food crazy. Kind of.
Food crazy.
And the Vijay actresses that I they have this.
We need to dial in. This is a great talk. We have to
Oh, we have time.
It rewards you the longer you play. It's not an end point. A lot of other games, like you get to a certain point, and even though you play very well, it doesn't reward you for getting better. And MOBAs do a really good
I
job.
think I'm leaning towards Nishai. That makes sense. I'm really starting to see with this one.
The Russian community is extraordinary.
Like, I'm really starting to see the Zhai, especially. I was thrown off by the eyes. Like, it was hard for me to see the knee, but I'm also seeing that more now.
His mouth does look really
The mouth is very shy.
Like, the mouth seems, yeah. He might have a fly or something. Or
Emphasis on the lower lip.
Yeah.
Even though he has a beard, it still doesn't like curl the upper lip. Doesn't have that movement that she normally does.
Yeah, he sort of looks like Santa Claus in a way.
Good idea to try it out.
And he does this pickup of his eyebrows without it moving the rest of his face, which during articulation.
Seems like professional players were generating a lot
which
of value.
is like if we're talking about a Nizai, like on Dixie Carter when she does the knee perk up, her G gets really big. It goes all the way up. When Dixie Carter does a knee perk up, her G gets big. And he's not, when he does his knee perk up, you still don't see anything on his articulation.
Way back in the beginning where we were like, maybe we could do an online.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of Z. Causes him to do a lot of cool articulating. His cheeks go down.
yeah, like these CEOs, they tend to have particular fuzzy and a lot of modulation.
That's true, yeah. A lot of Nishai CEOs, COOs, stuff like that.
And they get very fetishy about their Z and Vi.
Yeah. I feel pretty confident about Ninja, actually.
Shall we call it?
Okay, yeah, we're pretty
I
much
think I'm good with that.
in. So, and it sounds like people have their guesses.
And if I'm wrong, it's a big quasi-death. So, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that today with that Nijai Weiwei person. Like I really thought it was Naji, but
Yeah, no. Go back
That
and look at
happens.
that. Go back and look at that lady architect. I can't
Oh,
remember
I
what her name
actually
is.
saw what you're talking about.
Sagi
Guys,
Havas?
So what
Yeah,
is
her.
what this stand for?
Yeah. Okay. So sorry. My guess is Nijai.
Awesome. Glenn?
My guess is Nijai. My second would have to be Nizai.
Okay. Infinity.
Nijai followed by Naiji.
Then? I mean,
Uh,
go
first
last.
is-
Sorry. So since you're
okay,
the...
sure, yeah. I haven't looked at that much media one, but yeah.
How about you?
Mitchell?
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nijai.
Okay.
Nijai.
Chris.
Say Nijai and Ben.
I'll
do you
say Nijai.
Okay. Nijai.
He is Nijai.
Yay! Go team!
Yeah, no, that,
awesome.
that was Ai Weiwei. Yeah, Benedict Wong helped me a lot with that one, but I can see the architect.
Yeah,
too.
and I was thinking about it in the back of my head, but I just,
But she didn't want to go just the Asian. But as soon as I saw the architect riff, I'm like, yeah, that settles it.
Yeah, I actually didn't see that first, but I actually saw that a little bit, like as we were talking about that. Makes sense.
All set?
All set.
All right, that's pretty much a good time to call it. Does anyone have anything before we sign off? Any questions or?
I'm going to be stuck at work until very late tomorrow, so I'm probably going to miss the hangout tomorrow.
Ah, okay, because that was
Ooh.
the big set piece was your walkthrough and the words.
I know. I can try to get it to you before that and just not be there for the walkthrough, or it's up to you what.
Okay, if you're able to get to like someone, they could load it up for us. Could we then like make comments on it for you to look at later?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it something that needs personal explanation, or do you think we could just do it on our own without any explanation and make it work?
Well, I mean, I don't want to hold everybody back. I'd like to be there, but I don't want to hold everybody back.
Yeah, if you have it laid out, then yes, please go ahead and send it in. We'll take a look at it without you there and put some comments on it, and we'll work the dialogue that way. So we'll work around your schedule.
Yeah, I'm just stuck.
Okay.
I'll try to
No
get
problem.
back earlier, but tomorrow is a Monday, which usually tends to be pretty crazy, and I know I'm already scheduled for late.
Okay, but if you can do the layout in another time and send it in, that'll be great, and we'll work on it from there and get back to you any feedback. Sound good?
Okay.
All right, cool then. So then we'll still be on for Nijai's Temple tomorrow, and we'll plan to look over the document that Starglow sends in. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Perfect.
Thank you, by the way, for reading my samples, Coach.
Yeah.
Sure thing. What's that, Glenn?
Today is Game of Thrones.
You're right. It is.
Oh yeah. And is anybody catching up on Outlander?
The first four
Outlander's already
episodes.
starting.
Sing me a
This Friday?
song will last for the day.
Oh yeah, baby.
Maybe the last, maybe I.
Fantastic. That's
The
awesome.
first four episodes have already been released. They've been leaked basically. So I don't know. You guys might be able to check that out.
Yeah, Daredevil started on Friday, and Netflix dropped all 13 episodes. We were about halfway through. It's really good. So that's cool, too.
Another great show
Yeah.
on tonight is
I saw it too.
Valley. Silicon Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice. We like that show.
That is an amazing show.
Thanks for the reminder. We'll check it out.
Yes. Great show.
Awesome.
Oh, real quick, what channel does it come on?
HBO.
HBO.
HBO. Okay, good times.
Following Game of Thrones.
Nice.
Okay, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow in Temple.
Take it
Okay.
easy.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.